So how many times were you really interested in a woman where at first she was super interested in you too, but then later you tried to, let's say, make several plans with her, set something up, do this or do that. She kind of either flakes or gives an excuse the first time. And the second time it's like, oh, sorry, this popped up. And then like on the day of, oh, I'm sorry, I can't do it because of so-and-so. Don't hate me. Right before the day, oh, I'm sorry. Whatever it is, you know, whatever type of excuse she gives or whatever type of specifics there are, that's not the point. But the point is, oftentimes what happens is it fizzles out and it ends in the woman losing interest in you because of one thing. And this one thing is that there's no active investment. You see, man, here's what I've noticed. Women typically, I mean, pretty much always, to be honest, will lose interest in a man if she never has to actively invest in him. I know some girls, it's possible that they're gonna say this and they're gonna be like, oh, that's not true. If a man doesn't pursue me at first, I'm not interested. Yes, that's true. If a man doesn't pursue you at first, you're not gonna be interested. Absolutely. He has to pursue you at first in order for your guard to go down and for you to feel emotionally comfortable, all that good stuff. But what I'm saying is, if a man's always actively investing, and despite what you do to that man, he's still investing. No matter you flake on him, you do this, he says, oh, no problem, let's reschedule. Oh, no problem, let's reschedule. And it's always him who's texting you. I guarantee you, you're not going to be interested in that man in just a short amount of time. And that's reversible, but I'm talking to you about just when that happens particularly. And so you start noticing these patterns in women's behavior when that happens. And so what a lot of guys do is, because of their ignorance, they go ahead and say, oh, all women just like to play games. All women just like this or that. No, that's not true, bro. What's true is she didn't actively invest in her. And in order for you to raise her level of attraction, you have to make her actively invest in you. Not make as in force, but make as in allow her to actively invest in you. Obviously, at first, you as the man are going to be more of the pursuer, and she's going to be more of the one who just takes time to open up, you know, when the walls go down and when she gets more emotionally comfortable. But nevertheless, she has to actively invest in you, dude. And the best way that you could do that is just to put the brakes on, from what I've noticed. Like, let's just hypothetically say that you met this girl a week ago. A couple days later, you guys actually finally made plans to go out. And that was a week after the day you met. And so you're so excited, you're thinking about her all the time. The day of the date comes, you're so excited, you wake up, and then all of a sudden she's like, hey, sorry, I feel sick. I can't do it today. And so because you're in fear mode, you're in panic mode, you're like, okay, yeah, no problem. Are you free on this day? And then she says no without offering an alternative. And so instead of just letting it go, you're like, okay, but when else? Okay, but when else? Okay, but when else? And she was like, I'm gonna get back to you. Okay, when she says I'm gonna get back to you, you're supposed to just leave it at that. But no, the next day, you're like, hey, have you figured it out yet? It's like, dude, if she had figured it out, she would have told you. You know what I mean? So the way I'm trying to frame this and the way I'm trying to get you to think about this is to just put the brakes on and allow her to invest in you. If you're not giving her space to invest in you, you're just filling that space in. What is there for her to invest in? See it from her perspective. Why would she invest in you if you're doing all the investing in her? What is there to invest in you? Nothing. Exactly. And so the best thing you could do is just relax and figure it out and be more objective about this. Be like, objectively speaking, sure, she looks great. Sure, I'm attracted to her. Sure, this, sure, that. But objectively speaking, is this the type of behavior I want in my life? Probably not, dude. And so the best thing you could do at that point is just put the brakes on, dude. Put the brakes on and start looking for, I wouldn't even necessarily say other women, which yes, in many cases, yes, but that's not always, you know, the solution. A lot of people are always saying, oh, you have to date multiple women. You have to date multiple women, as if it's like a requirement, like a religious requirement or like a legal requirement. No, it's not that you have to date other women, but you have to put yourself in a mentality of abundance. And the best way to put yourself in a mentality of abundance is to maintain an open mind and being okay with whatever happens. It's like wanting so much to go on a date with a woman, but if she says no, it's fine. And because you have such an abundance mentality, you're like, okay, well, either way, if she's flaking, which isn't necessarily always the truth, because a lot of times it's also that something happens, yes, last minute. But even in that case, maintain an open mind. Be like, you know what? Even though I like her a lot, I mean, I'm intrigued a lot by her because I don't really I don't know her that well yet. Even though that's the case, I'm still cool with whatever happens because I have an abundance mindset. And a lot of women would find me attractive. A lot of women would want to go out with me. A lot of women would want to build something with me. A lot of women are thinking about me. A lot of women just wish that I was with them, that they were with me. You know what I mean? You have to have a mindset like that, dude. And a lot of this is just going to come with practice and time, to be completely honest. And it's going to come with working on yourself, because the more you work on yourself, the more you notice that the outer reality starts to shape itself into what you want. And I know this could sound like some, overly spiritual shit, but honestly, man, it's the truth. You work on everything about yourself, everything, your physical attractiveness, your emotional attractiveness, your intellectual attractiveness, your knowledge, everything about you, your style, everything. You start noticing the outer world changing to kind of like bend itself to your will. And so what's good about that is it gives you options with friends, with potential girls, with everything, bro. It gives you just options. You start having this abundance mindset, and the abundance mindset comes from that knowledge. It doesn't just come from, I'm going to talk to 20 girls at once. Yeah, I'm so cool. No, I just recommend for men who aren't super experienced to speak to several women at once at first, so they can gain more experience and see what they like versus what they dislike. And so, yeah, back to the investing, because, I tend to go off on a lot of tangents, even though they're related. But yeah, she has to invest in you. And having that mindset of the guy who's working on himself that I just said right there, that's what's going to make her feel attracted to you on like an energetic level. Because she's going to be like, I feel so attracted to this guy. He's just so non-attached. He's just saying whatever's on his mind. He's not nervous when he's talking to me. He seems very confident. He seems this, he seems that. I'm thinking about him. I don't know why I'm thinking about him, when really she's thinking about you, because you're demonstrating that you're high value. You're that guy. That's what I like to call it. You're that guy. Whatever those words even mean. You're that guy. Like, he's that guy. There's just something different about him. That's what you want to be. And so the more you work on yourself, and the less you think about controlling these specifics, like the outcomes and shit, I swear to God, the happier you become. Because then you're in your own frame. I was even thinking about this just yesterday. I don't know why I was thinking about it, but I just randomly think about things that like intrigue me a lot. I've noticed in life that there's two types of people. The first type is the type of people whom establish their own strong frame, like they have a frame, right? Whether it's a frame of reference, a frame of approach, a frame of confidence, a frame of groundedness, whatever it is, you establish your own frame, you become strong in your own frame, and you attract people to you by that strength of frame. That's the first category of people. The second category of people are the people who always jump into other people's frames. The kind of people who are, I wouldn't necessarily say there's anything wrong with them, but more than having a strong frame, they're always hopping into other people's frames. It's like they're a little bit of everything. They're a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. But there's no strength of frame to where people would be so pulled into their frame, besides of just like the easygoingness, or besides just being cool with whatever, which again, yes, it's cool sometimes, but also at other times you have to have your own strong frame. You have to be in your own frame and so rooted and so grounded in what you're doing and so confident in what you're doing, to the point where people could just pick up on that and they're attracted to your frame, and so they want to hop into your frame. When people hop into your frame, let me just tell you, you become so much more confident, and you just radiate a different type of energy, and people could pick up on that. And to anyone who's watching this video, I'm sure you can relate. Whether you're a guy or a girl, like, yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. This guy's right. And so anyways, you put yourself in that first category, because everybody can. But obviously in different ways, different shapes, different sizes, different interests, everything. When you establish your own strong frame, you're going to pull people in. The more you do it on yourself, and the longer you do it for, and the more quality that you put into yourself, not even just physically, like good food, right? Quality, even spiritual quality, content consumption. Consuming good content, not just watching dumb shows, for example, that have no meaning. For example, establishing that strong frame is just going to put you at a better position to just navigate your life. And then when that happens, naturally speaking, people will you're going to start to see, and it's going to be pretty obvious too. People are starting to invest in you way more. It's like a part of you, because part of you is going to be conditioned to the old types of behavior, like, oh wow, this is really happening. But then the new part of you, because you're kind of like upgrading yourself, the new part of you is like, I'm not surprised. This is exactly how it should be. This is me. This is me at the core. You know what I mean? So that's how the new you is going to be. But the old you, a part of it is going to be like, oh wow, this is so new to me. I'm not used to this. But yeah, you want to stop thinking about the old you and start being progressive in terms of your thinking, like thinking forward, who I'm going to become, not who I was in the past. Because that's not going to change you. That's not going to benefit you, actually. You could try as much as possible to change the past 1,000 times. You'll never succeed a single goddamn time. But yeah, establishing your own strong frame is going to get people, and therefore women, to invest in you. The guy in the beginning of the video, remember when I was saying, not even the guy, the person who's just like, when I was asking the question, have you ever talked to a girl, you were so interested in her to the point where you invested more than her until eventually she blew you off or she stopped being interested? The overwhelming majority of men have been through that, including myself in like my late teens, early 20s. Thankfully, I didn't do it too much, but there has been times, late teens, early 20s, where I did shit like that. And so that's the type of person who's always hopping into other people's frames. I want to take her out. Oh my God. I want her to have a good time. Oh my God. She's interested in me. No. Oh my God, I gotta take care of this. Oh, she flaked on me. I gotta schedule something else. No. Relax. Ground yourself. The type of person who's grounded and he's focusing on his own shit in life, he's gonna be like, oh damn, I wanted to see her, but it's fine. Everything is, destiny. Everything's meant to be. Let me do something else and more productive with my time. Let me chill with the boys tonight. Maybe even see another girl instead if she's free. You're not in a relationship, you're not committed to this person, for example, but then she starts getting invested in you because your energy is just different. Energy speaks for itself, dude. It's like you can't fake that. The best dating coach in the world can't just tell you to say this or do this, and then it's gonna be like a magic pill that's gonna work, and then she's gonna be like, I'm head over heels in love with you. No, that doesn't work that way. It's not how it works. But it's the frame, dude. I'm telling you, man. The frame, you establish that frame, and before even going into the interaction with her, establish what I like to call a meta frame. Which a meta frame is basically you watching the frame from the outside, even though you're the one in the frame. Watching it and setting up the dynamics and thinking about it before it even happens, where you're like, this girl's super interested in me, and this girl wants to see me, and she's going to invest in me. You believe that, and you subscribe to thoughts like those, and you jump into that frame, you're putting power into yourself. And this isn't like toxic power, manipulative power, like, oh yeah, you have to manipulate women, you have to do this. A lot of content creators are doing that nowadays, and I think that's ridiculous, to be honest. But anyways, let's not go on another tangent for the millionth time. But yeah, putting yourself in that strong frame, you allow people to come into your frame because your frame is strong. It's not weak. And so the more you focus on that, man, it's going to come with practice. It's going to come with experience. It's going to come with time. Whatever age you're at, more than likely you're 18 and above watching this. I mean, hopefully you are. But regardless of what age you're at, you want to establish that frame and see it as a learning experience. Don't see it as, oh man, I never can win women over. It's always impossible. Women never like me. Nah, cut that old shit out. Cut that old software out, that old programming out. You're a new person, dude. Remember that. And just stick to that, man, and I guarantee you, things are going to change. You're going to notice a change in everyone around you, and I'm telling you, man, it could sound cliche, but I promise you, like sincerely, things will change when you start adopting this mindset with just some time, some fine tuning, and most importantly, being grounded in your own frame and allowing a woman to invest in you by becoming grounded in your own frame after you establish and you ground and secure that frame, and you just let that frame control you instead of you hopping into other people's frames. So you got the message, man. Now go out there and make shit happen. Peace.